Chapter 38, final chapter, Convergence. So, what made you guys decide to move to San Diego? It was a few days after our return, and we're sitting in the family room kitchen area of the Rancho Bernardo house. I was sitting on the couch, Vic was in the chair to my left, and Shama on the chair to my right. Linda was across the room in the kitchen preparing a tomato sauce. The question was floated out, not directed at anyone in particular. A moment passed. "'Cause you're such great parents," Vic said playfully. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Vraj, sure. Seriously, why not stay there? Things seem to be pretty good for you." "I guess so," Vic said. "Just ready to move on, you know. Time to do something else." "Okay, but why here?" Vic explained that he wanted a steady income so he could raise a family properly. Since I was going to train him as a programmer, it's best if he were close by so I could better instruct him. He thanked us for scouting out rentals in the Julian area. They both liked the idea of living on a mountaintop, and Jersey is pretty flat. A slight pause occurred, and Shama jumped in. "ISKCON isn't all that great, you know." I was stunned. Linda put down her spoon and came over to sit by me. Our looks invited her to reveal more. "They don't want you to associate with your family. Did you know that?" I guessed at it, but I didn't know. "Yeah, they make a point about breaking family ties, which Vraj didn't do. And Vraj wasn't going in the right direction for them, so they made the things very difficult for him, very difficult." She was on a roll. "There's a big difference between ISKCON in America and in India. The Americans are pretty messed up. All they care about in America is more money, more power." Then she realized she'd probably gone too far. In unison, Linda and I swiveled our heads to look at Vic. He wasn't angry, that's good. He wasn't happy, sad, or excited. He looked like someone about to say something about their dog that died 6 months ago. "Yeah, ISKCON America is messed up. But I'm done with them now." Those words were as sweet as any I heard in a long time. Linda's smile stretched ear to ear. The phone rang and I got up to answer it. Linda started a little happy dance as they continued to the bubbly, happy conversation. When I returned, my looks must have betrayed me. "Victor, what's wrong? Who was that?" Linda asked. "Mom called from Chicago. Dad is in the hospital again. She said it looks pretty bad. Last time he was in the hospital, he seemed to have picked up necrotizing fasciitis." "What's that?" Linda interrupted. "That's fancy for flesh-eating bacteria." "Oh no, oh my God, isn't that fatal?" Linda put her hands to her cheeks and we all sat down quietly. Yeah, but it can sometimes be controlled. They're going to try some aggressive antibiotics. Let's hope it works. If not, then surgery will be required." I stayed as even-keeled as I could, trying to hide the severity. "Mom said he'd like to see me again, so I'm going to fly to Chicago tomorrow and stay for a couple of days." "But we're going to go shopping with the kids tomorrow." Linda often coped with difficulty by focusing on the immediate. "It's okay," I soothed her. "You go with them to look for the car and give me a call when you've picked out something. It'll be just like I was there." By the time I got to his side in the hospital, the drug regimen was well underway. The drugs were strong, my dad weak, and the mental effects pronounced. At least he recognized me. We tried to make some conversation and pretty much failed. We never were particularly good at conversation since it was mostly him talking and me listening. But this time he had nothing to say. He did love bridge, though. He even invented his own bidding system and got it approved. There's a deck of cards on the table, so I said, "Let's play double dummy." I dealt the cards and put his 13 in his hand. He was lying on his back, so he held the cards up in the air at almost full arm's length to accommodate his eyesight. I examined the heavy bandage covering his right forearm when the infection raged. It didn't look that dangerous. A minute passed and he was still arranging his cards. "Need some help there, Dad?" "You'd see my hand," he said, shaking his head slightly. Another minute passed and he continued to fret about which card went where. "How about now, Dad?" No. His voice trailed off. His arms tired. They sagged and straightened and sagged again. I watched quietly as his eyelids and arms gave into the inevitable. He fell asleep. The cards splayed across his chest. I sat alone next to his bed waiting for I don't know what. Just waiting. Thoughts of coin collections, weightlifting trophies, and his hand-painted shoes wandered through my head. Every now and then a low moan from the bed called me back to reality. Evening had come. I collected the cards, kissed my dad's forehead, and made my way to his house where Mom was waiting. Anita and John were in Las Vegas, and she sat alone in the dark. We ate dinner at the kitchen table and counted how many times Dad had cheated death in the past. Certainly, we convinced ourselves this would be another victory of his willpower. We weren't making any other plans. Joe was flying in tomorrow. Can't you stay longer? Mom's fear was showing. It's okay, Mom. I'm here tonight. Joe will be here for 2 days, and then Anita will be back. The phone rang. Mom answered and fetched me. It was Linda, and not the hospital. Linda's with the kids at the Nissan dealership in Escondido, and they had selected a Nissan Quest minivan. But not all was well. Vic said the sales lady said they wouldn't be able to finance the car. What did she say exactly? Your chances are slim to none. Linda chuckled. Ouch. Well, at least she had a sense of humor. Is there something we can do to help? We could co-sign the loan. Both a statement and a plea. I considered for a moment. Okay, get the paperwork started. My dad died 8 days later on October 23rd, 1997. The drug treatment was unsuccessful in controlling the infection, and his doctors felt compelled to remove the tissue. Dad was too weak to survive the rigors of another surgery. Linda, Vic, Sham, and I flew to Chicago the next day. The atmosphere was somber, but in a strange way. Dad's decline was obvious. Everyone knew the end was near. His 85 years were mostly good, although he never got the respect and recognition he craved. Rationally, we knew it was good the suffering was over, but the death of a parent is never a simple event. The night before the funeral, I lay awake in the hotel bed planning what to say in eulogy. The last years of Dad's life were like a music box playing the same tunes slower and slower. Each note seemed to last until somehow the next one escaped. But now the music is over. After reviewing and itemizing what I believed my dad would want me to say about him, I stumbled into the part of my brain inhabited by deathbed's lyrics. It was always a strange place, a place full of Vic's sufferings. Now I am more at home here, the surroundings more real. Now I understand the forceful finality of lips that will never laugh again, eyes that will never cry again. And I imagine the loneliness of a spirit whose existence is trapped inside me, dependent on frail memory. I hate that I understand death. I must be wrong. I can't be wrong. To be young again, innocent again, unsuspecting again. Morning is cold. Church is chilly. The little sounds echo loudly, amplified by the marble. Delivering the eulogy, I stand beside myself watching. I watch the nuns in the choir at the back of the church, my mother in the front row, brother, sister, wife, and son. I watch their faces. I hear my own voice. I absorb the sorrow, the hopelessness, the defeat. My gaze fixes on Vic. And I say, when I saw my father in the coffin, I thought, this can't be the last, the end. Your body's there, but you're not. Where are you now? This is your deathbed, and your body's there, but you're not. I want to scream these words. Finally, I understand why Vic did.